Welcome back, everybody, to the Unbounded Artistry podcast. We are on episode 5 of season 5, and we have some interesting topics lined up for you today. We're going to discuss some scammers that we encountered on Instagram and Behance, the MSG Sphere in Las Vegas, and our Flora and Fauna series where we took our first steps outdoors in public without masks, and the new social media platform Threads. The first topic is something that we just encountered in the past week, so
yeah. It was interesting.
Not good.
Kind of a disappointment, but at least we're smart enough to manage.
Do you want to cover this one?
No.
Okay. All right. So last week we received a direct message or DM on Instagram and a design request through our website. The request was for a redesign of a company logo for Cute Up Clothings. The message on Instagram was as follows. Greetings, Tealfish Studio. I would like to confirm if you would be available to redesign a logo. Got your contact info from Behance. Can you let me know how we can get started? Please confirm if you're still available for the project. I'll be sending further details to your email. Sincere regards, Cute Up Clothings. So we got that. And then this was the message that went through our website. Actually, they sent it twice. It went through our contact form and also our service inquiry form. They're both kind of very similar, but this is kind of what that was. Greetings, Tealfish Studio. I would like to confirm if you'll be available to redesign a logo and letterhead. Got your contact from Behance. Can you let me know how we can get started? Please confirm if you're still available for the project. I'll be sending further details to your email. Sincere regards. And they also noted in that email that their budget was $800.
Scammers.
So we always try to do our best to vet potential clients. And when we received this request, this one didn't immediately raise concern, but we felt we needed to research this one thoroughly. We checked out their profile on Instagram, and the posts were very odd.
Sketchy.
It was
super sketchy.
Yeah, it was like a mix of like military photos and really poorly designed like logos, and we're just like, what is this? So that immediately started to raise some flags for us. Then we did some Google searching, and we tried to find anything that we could on Cute Up Clothing, and there is no existing website, no existing branding, anything like that. There is no information anywhere. Like, you would think that somebody looking for a rebrand would have some kind of information out there, and there is nothing to be found. Then after searching Google a little bit longer, we found that other designers and artists received the same message from the same company. Kind of interesting, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So our request was from Cute Up Clothing. Others received very similar messages from other fictional made-up companies.
Yeah, this was weird. So I was like, initially I was like, oh, like we haven't had like a commission in a little bit. So I was kind of excited. I was like, okay, whatever. Like, they found us on Behance. We have like our portfolio up there. So we're like, that's realistic. Like, we could have had somebody that found us through there. But we had gotten one earlier in the year, like I think a couple months ago.
Yeah, it was on Behance as well.
It was also on Behance, but like that one we were really sketched out by because like you could tell it was a scammer because the way that it was written, like the language was like really off. So we just ignored it.
Also, I think the budget on that one was extremely high for what they were asking for. If I remember correctly, it was like almost pushing also like $1,000, and it was like for a birthday card. Like,
Yeah,
it was very odd.
something very strange. So
Yeah.
we're like, this is weird. We're not going to respond to it. And then when we got this one, I was like, okay, this could be legitimate. But then very shortly after we got that Instagram one, and I was like, Brandon, can you check that email that we just got? And like, is it the same person? And it was the same person. And like, when we looked at the Instagram, the stuff on there was just bizarre.
Yeah.
It was very, like, a very weird collection of pictures. There was very badly designed versions, I guess, of this logo. But like, nobody would be able to have a business with this type of a logo. Like, it looked like a kid's drawing. Like, there was a lot of like really bad ones. And I was like, well, I guess like if they really do need like their logo redesigned, but there was no evidence of them. So yeah, if you ever get anything weird like that, please make sure that you're doing your research and like making sure that the people asking you for a job are legitimate, because we found out that this was kind of a frequent scam that's been going on.
Yeah. A lot of people were saying they've been contacted by these people.
They had some were the same company, and some of them were very similarly named, but it was like a couple letters off or something like that. It was really, really weird. So you definitely want to make sure that you're careful when you have an online presence as a business, and that you don't fall victim to scams. Like, I never thought that this would happen. Like, honestly, like, I'm like, okay, well, we're online. We do commissions. Like, we're used to getting requests from people online. We have the online request forms. I've never had an experience where it was a scam before this. So now I'm just going to be even more careful about it.
I'm always very skeptical about things, and I feel like I do my due diligence with a lot of things that we receive or just in general. But when we did a little bit more research and reading through like this page that we did find about this company, they kind of went into detail of how the scam actually works. And it's kind of scary because if you're not really looking out for it, it can do a lot of damage. So what they would do is they'll ask you for your PayPal email so they can pay for their fake commission. And then they'll send you a phishing email that's spoofed looking like it's a PayPal email, saying that your payment didn't go through and that you need to log into your account and, kind of correct or whatever they want you to correct. But the link in the email is actually to a fake site, which allows them just to pull your information as you enter it. So definitely do not click any links that you're not familiar with. We always recommend going directly to whatever website you're trying to log into. That way you're not going to get phished.
Yeah. On the site that we found, there was a lot of people that were commenting that had kind of gone through the same scam, and they had some images of like screenshots of the messages with this person or the fake client. And they're like, oh, I just sent you your payment. Did you receive it? It's already been taken out of my account. Can you check your PayPal? And whoever it was like, oh, like nothing came through PayPal yet. And they're like, oh, like, can you make sure to check? And they're like, oh, I did check. There's nothing at PayPal yet. 'Cause I checked the site directly. And they're like, no, check your email. So clearly they're trying to get you to click through a link on your email saying that a payment was being processed. It didn't go through for some reason. And then they're getting the artist to kind of put in their login information so that they can.
Yeah, just basically empty your account.
Yeah, which is awful because I'm sure that it's also a situation where the artist is actually putting the time and the energy into making this commission that doesn't even exist. So that's so frustrating. That's such a waste of time.
Yeah.
It's just really, people are nasty.
But the thing that always is concerning is that they do this because it works. So it's actually scammed actual artists, and we don't know exactly how many, but it's enough where they'll continue to do it. It's just like a numbers game. If they keep sending it to enough people, they know that X amount are going to click through and It's a kind of something where you gotta like educate like everyone to make sure that you're like paying real close attention to like the emails that you get or any communications you get, and just be very careful with what you're doing.
Yeah. And I feel bad because I feel like a lot of young artists are being targeted, or the young artists that you see, a lot of this is through Instagram. So like a lot of the young artists nowadays use Instagram primarily for like their marketing and trying to like build their community and showcase their work. So it makes sense that that's the route that people are taking to scam these people, but they're not, I guess, experienced enough to make sure to double check like that these people are legitimate, or that there could be some kind of bad actors trying to get your information. So it's just sad.
Yeah.
It's just really sad. But luckily, Brandon is very cautious about everything.
Yeah.
Me, not so much. I am a lot more now. But earlier in my days, I did not.
She had some really bad habits that I had to like really try to break her of, and she's coming around. So
I was very much just like an open book, like trusted everybody way too much, and Brandon has kind of helped me be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, because like once something's like out there, like it's out there. Like,
yeah, I think the other piece for us is a lot of our commissions and our work has been like word of mouth and like people that we knew, or we knew somebody through somebody. So like we've had kind of a good handle on who these people were. So when it is somebody that's external completely, we're a little bit more careful about.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Checking and making sure that they're like a legitimate.
Yeah. And then we also have just things just in our business that also just kind of check things as well. So like if we actually take on a commission, we're not going to start it without an initial deposit. So that way you don't get like stiffed at the end.
We've been burned multiple times. So we learned our lesson the hard way.
So we're collecting payment as we go through the process now. So.
Yeah, we're definitely making sure that we at least we have like a meeting with the client ahead of time. We make sure that they sign a contract, that they pay us the first half up front. If there's like additional things that they want, because a lot of times with design work, there's like scope creep and they end up wanting way more than what they initially said. And we make sure that they know that we're going to have to charge for that and the timing and everything. So there's a lot of things we've learned over the years doing this. So we at least have some safety nets in place.
Yeah. Which is always good to have.
Yeah. Well, it was a very interesting experience. So we figured we would talk about it just in case anybody else comes across something like that or a company like that. Please be careful.
Yeah. Or just in general, just be careful with your emails that you get.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, I mean, just even outside the business stuff, like the amount of phishing emails that come through is just ridiculous.
And they've gotten a lot better at making it look like it's from a legitimate company.
Yeah.
Like even if I get emails from like my service providers or something like that, I never click on anything. I go to the website and make sure that it's something in there. Yeah,
like even like I'll screen calls too. Like if like for some reason like somebody's trying to get a hold of me from a place, like usually just let it go to voicemail and just call a place back at the number that I know is actually legit. Yeah.
So many scammers.
Yeah. You just can't trust anything.
Nope.
You want to lead us into the next topic?
I suppose. So the MSG Sphere, I'm sure everybody has seen some kind of news coverage about this. Shine bright like a sphere.
Yeah. New song by Rihanna.
So in Las Vegas, a new object has arrived to fill the skyline. On July 4th, 2023, the sphere at the Venetian Resort was revealed to the world. The project reportedly costs over $2 billion to build. It's intended to be a music and entertainment arena. The defining feature of this is 366 feet high and 516 feet wide spherical structure. And They are 1.2 million exterior lights that can be programmed to taste. On the inside, it has an impressive display capability of 16K display. I don't even know what the hell that means.
Freaking really high definition.
The lighting is only mind-boggling. The lighting is not the only mind-boggling thing about this sphere. It has 160,000 speakers and has seats that can vibrate. And even have wind machines. Unsurprisingly, or surprisingly, U2 is set to be the first public concert set for September 29th. Remember back in 2014 when every U2 album showed up in your iTunes out of thin air? Well, if you're a fan of them or not, it seems like they are at the forefront of this new technology. So we wanted to talk about the pros and the cons of such a venue and what our thoughts were about this sphere.
Well, my initial thought is I'm glad it's not in our skyline.
It's just basically Disney World in the middle of Las Vegas. Like, I don't see what's so like amazing about it. I don't know. Maybe I'm in the minority about it, but like, do we really need something like that? I just feel like touch some grass, man. Like, why? Why do we need this? I don't get it.
Like,
it feels like a waste of money.
Like,
and resources.
I get why they did the lights and all that on the exterior, because they want to have that headline. They want it to be like that thing that sticks out that everyone is talking about like all the time. Like, I get that they want to do that, but at the same time, I think it would have been just as cool of a venue if they just did the interior stuff the way they did and just had some kind of like normal exterior, like that is kind of classier, less flashy.
I just feel like that's going to be such a huge power draw. Like, nobody cares about the environment. Like, we're in a like crisis right now and people are still doing this dumb shit. Like, I don't understand. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. And it's basically like the stuff that they have on the inside is, I'm sure like the 16K display is amazing or whatever, but like the seats vibrating and the air puffing or whatever, like that's basically a Disneyland ride. Like, I don't understand.
I mean, yeah, they call it like a 4D experience. And I remember when I went to Disney, like there's like some alien encounter thing, and it would do like the same thing. It would like blow like water or blow like air and water at you and like vibrate the seat, and like
I remember that. Yeah.
Like it was like really, it's cool for like a ride-ish type thing, but I don't think you need that for a musical performance or any entertainment performance really. But I do think just having like a building that's kind of built for like an audio kind of driven show is kind of interesting. I don't think they went about it the right way.
I mean, yeah, like we watched, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was something about like how high tech the audio experience is inside. I don't really understand how that's going to be an enjoyable experience that isn't going to make you go deaf immediately after. Like,
I don't think it's about the loudness. I think it's about like the clarity and like the sound, like, and rather than just being loud, it's going to be like,
it's 160,000 speakers.
Yes, but it's not supposed to be like
like that. I've been to concerts that have like maybe 8 speakers, and like I was like hard of hearing afterwards.
Yeah, because they crank it, and I think this is more about having a balance of like, yes, it's going to be audible to everybody, but also it's about creating like the whole wide range of like frequencies to like a high standard, I guess. I mean, I don't know for sure, but that's what it seems like, is that they're trying to focus more on like that kind of aspect.
I don't like it. Yeah, I don't like it at all.
I'm just glad it's not near us, because it was causing like traffic jams. Like people on the street were just stopping, getting out of their car, and just
like taking pictures of it,
and videos.
I don't really understand how they're deciding like how they program or what they're programming on the
I don't
outside of it.
But also, I don't want that light pollution here. We got enough
Yeah.
as it is.
I mean, it's in Las Vegas.
Yeah,
the whole place
it's
is
the
full
place
of
it should be.
light pollution, but
Yeah.
it's just, I don't know. I think it's dumb. I think there are better things we could be spending $2 billion on. There's more important things that we could be spending that type of money on.
This is a company spending money.
Well,
so.
yeah, that tracks.
So they're looking to make money. So, and it will.
Don't like it. I'm not a fan. I will not be giving them any patronage.
Well,
so
I don't have any plans to go to Vegas anytime soon.
Those are my thoughts on that.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting, like, after the first concert there. Like,
kind of reviews and what people are talking about.
Yeah, like what people actually think of the actual experience and stuff like that.
Maybe we can do, like, a follow-up.
Maybe.
If we remember.
Perhaps.
But on to the
next topic.
Okay. Next up, we've got our Flora and Fauna series. So we got one small step for us. We obviously know that most of the world has kind of been back to pre-pandemic activities for a while now. But we're still trying to kind of get reacquainted at like our own pace and our own comfort level. But this past weekend, we made a big step to reintegrate into the world.
Big step.
Yeah. We headed out to one of our favorite parks, and we did so leaving the masks at home. So felt a little weird at first, but it was the first time in 3 years we kind of been out in a public place without wearing a mask. It did turn into a really enjoyable experience. We saw like a lot of cool things that we never saw before, some different animals that we never saw before. There was like this weird gray bug. It was like trying to fly, and
I don't think it knew how yet. I think it was learning.
And at the end,
cute.
it kind of just dropped like a stone. So
it was like trying to fly, and then it went.
Yeah, so hopefully, hopefully it's
learned.
fine. It's fine. We saw eastern kingbirds. Those were really cool. Never saw those before. And then Rose got to see fireflies for the first time.
Yes, I've never seen them. It was so cool.
So she was actually talking about them like not too long ago, and then we saw them. So awesome.
Yeah, we were talking because we've been trying to do try to like attract more nature into our backyard. And we were talking about like what we would like to see, and like we were talking about hummingbirds, and I was like, "Oh, it would be cool if we had fireflies. I've never seen them before." So it was so cool that I actually got to see them. I was like, "It's so magical."
Yeah, there was like hundreds of them in the
it was
like
amazing.
The woods. Yeah, it was a lot. Like the most I've ever seen before is like maybe one or two, like at my parents' house when I was growing up. But I never seen that many.
They were everywhere.
Yeah.
It was so cool. It was amazing.
So that was awesome. I think the other thing that we saw like some deer on the way out, but like it was just like too dark by then.
Yeah.
It was like our sensors like could not even like pick it up.
We saw a lot of beavers.
Oh yeah, they were eating like
the little what are they, lotus?
Like
not lotus.
Lily pads.
Lily pads.
Yeah, they're eating like the lily pads. They're just snacking on them like it was like chips.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool to watch.
It was a really nice trip. We haven't been out in a long time. And it was a little scary at first going out without masks on. And there was like, because everybody else is over it and has been for a while, but there was like some people that like stopped and talked to us and they were like, "Oh, like, did you see this?" or whatever. And like, it's just like, there's other people that are like photographers that go to this park and like, they'll like discuss like what they've seen and like the things that they're capturing.
Yeah.
And I was very like, you're standing too close to me, but also like they were like really nice.
Yeah, they're really nice.
And I was like, okay, I need to chill out. This is fine. So it was interesting. It was a little scary.
Yeah.
But
we survived.
So far, so good.
So far,
knock on wood.
So far, we're doing well. Yeah, the one guy came up to us and we were talking about like a green heron that we were taking photos of, and He was saying like they're actually like one of the smarter birds. They actually use like tools to like fish for fish, which is crazy. Like they actually use like
They'll use like I think sticks or like they'll kind of hang things like over the water so that the fish jump out and then they'll grab the fish when they come out.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And then there are rumblings of owls in the area.
Yeah, so that's why I ended up seeing the fireflies. We were leaving the park because it was starting to get a little bit dark. But the person we had talked to earlier had mentioned that there was owls and they had some juveniles, some little baby owls.
I think they are barred owls.
I don't remember what he said.
I think that's what he said.
But they had like little, I think 2 maybe juvenile owls as well. And he kind of told us the area they were. But it was getting dark, so we were walking out. And then these 2 other people that we had talked to earlier in the day were like, hey, did you see the owls? And we're like, oh, no, we haven't seen them yet. And they're like, they're amazing, whatever. So we were like, okay, maybe we do go try to find these owls. So it was pretty dark, and we turned around to go see the owls, but instead we just saw a bunch of fireflies, which was
fine. Oh, we also saw that cute little bunny with the little mark. I can't talk, with the little white mark on his forehead.
He was so teeny tiny.
Yeah.
He was a little baby. But we saw a bunch of fireflies on the way to try to figure out where these owls were, and we ended up, we found out later we were in the right spot, but I was totally looking the wrong direction, so next trip, we'll probably try to see if we can locate them again.
Yeah, there might be a video made out of the owl quest.
Yes.
We're still trying to figure that out, but there might be.
We're working on it. But yeah, instead of owls, we just got several mosquito bites.
Yeah.
We were eaten alive in the darkness, but I didn't care because of all the fireflies. It was just so cool. Yeah, it was so cool. It was very awesome.
Next one.
You do it.
No, it's your turn.
Me?
Yeah. You got this.
Threads, born from the ashes of Twitter. So on July 5th, 2023, Meta announced and launched a Twitter competitor called Threads. On the first day, 30 million users joined the new platform. While some other platforms were touted as Twitter replacements, Threads actually might have what it takes. The timing of the launch seems to come at an ideal time since Twitter recently put limits on the number of tweets a person could see. This has fluctuated a lot due to community response, but currently unverified accounts can see 1,000 tweets and verified accounts can see 10,000 tweets per day. This seems very counterintuitive to what a social platform is meant to be. So we were going to talk about, now that Meta has Threads, they're kind of like a social media monopoly. And what our thoughts were on this platform so far.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because they own Facebook, obviously, and then they own Instagram. I think they own WhatsApp too, don't they?
I believe so.
Yeah, last I knew they owned WhatsApp, and now they own Threads. So they have a very significant share of the social media that's out there.
Yeah.
Like the only competitors kind of remaining are obviously the TikToks, and I don't think Snapchat's really relevant anymore as far as I'm aware. And then besides that, it would be like YouTube. Yeah.
And Twitter.
Well, not anymore.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, it's a little concerning, but
yeah.
I mean, I think the way that they did it was kind of smart because anybody that had an Instagram account automatically, it could port over all of your followers and anybody that you follow, not all of your followers, anyone that you follow over to the Threads app, and then all of your information, like your profile picture, your like your bio, anything like that would just port right over as well. So it makes it really easy to start up an account and not kind of be starting from scratch. I joined it just so that we could kind of grab our name in case it does become more of a thing. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm like, it seems like people are enjoying themselves on it. I think that type of platform has just kind of been ruined for me after like the downfall of Twitter. I'm just kind of over it. And I just, I don't know. It is what it is. I'm not like thrilled or disappointed one way or the other.
Yeah, I think it kind of just, I think what they did is just kind of capitalize on the moment. Like they said that it's like been in development since like the beginning of the year. I think they probably would have liked to probably add more features and do more testing with it, but just because like it presented like the perfect opportunity, they've just went ahead and released it. And I think the other thing too is they had like the whole like kind of database of everyone on Instagram, which allowed them to create this. And instead of having like that like platform feel of like something where it's like brand new and you're like, who do I follow? Like, who's here? Is anyone I know actually here? Like, it will let you know like immediately, like, oh yeah, all these people are already here, and then like there are already people that you're following. It just seems like a lot more active just from the get-go.
Yeah.
Which I think goes a long way in terms of drawing in new people, because even if some people that you're looking to follow aren't there yet, it still gives you a bunch of recommendations.
Odin's in the chat is saying, just remember that you have given Meta ownership of anything you upload or submit to any of their platforms. Yes, this I know. I don't feel comfortable. Like, I know that it's a good way for people to get familiar with, like, your work and your art and your music and all of that thing. And a lot of artists do use it for networking and all of that kind of thing as well. And we do use it, Instagram specifically, but I feel weird about uploading certain things just because I know that it means that they have some kind of partial ownership of it, and I don't like it.
Yeah, like I'll never upload like music to that for sure. Like I would never do that.
Yeah, I had done it already before I realized that they somehow have rights to it. But I'm like, but it's copywritten and I own the copyright, so how does that work? Can I copyright strike myself? I don't know how that works. I don't know how that works, but
yeah, that's one thing that I won't upload to their places for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of strange, but what are you gonna do? But I think that's kind of it for the topics we had.
Yeah. So if you are listening to the podcast, you can always watch it on our YouTube channel at Tealfish Studio. And if you were watching, you can always listen to it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts.
All the streaming
Stitcher. I don't know
places that are.
I forget. I haven't done it in so long. But yeah, all the normal places that you get your podcast, you can always find it there.
Yeah.
So. And if you're really lost, there's a link on our website, so you can just go there, tealfishstudio.com.
Yeah. And until next time, may your artistry always be unbounded. Bye.
Bye.